Hi, good morning, gentlemen. I hope everybody can hear me properly. And now we are almost ready to start. So I will start by introducing us and giving you a plan for that webinar, and then I will proceed. So 2i is working with SAT, and 2i is a company dedicated to computer vision. So our technology is to analyze images and analyze videos, and we are 100% dedicated to the field of security and safety. So to give you an idea of who our clients are police centers, can be national security, sensitive sites, sensitive locations like electricity plant, nuclear plants, all of them, and as well some big private clients that use our solution for securing their premises. So as I said, we are working on the computer vision technology. We developed a compute unit that is filled with different algorithm that allows you to detect many things, and all this information is broadcast into a platform that you can use to realize the different investigation and research you need. And this platform is also connected to all the VMSs you already use on your own premises. I'm gonna start with a presentation of the context and how we use our product, and you will see which issues we're tackling and how we answer these issues. And then I will switch to a direct presentation of the software, showing you how we can sort an investigation on recordings. So it's not going to be live analysis, but it's going to be analyzing recordings and saving time when you have to realize an investigation. I'm going to share my screen right now. Perfect. Now I think you all see my screen. And in that short presentation, the goal is um, to understand the environment we're working in and to theorize it. So we started by defining where we're working and which environment we're working in. So the idea was to define how to secure a territory. So it can be a city, but it also can be a group of different industries, different firms. And we have identified that there are three pillars. So the first pillar is the prior situations. The second pillar is the immediate situations or immediate threats. And the third one is the recurring situations. So I'm going to define these three in the following presentation. When we talk about prior threats or prior situation, it is very important to understand that it's not because it happened in the past that that issue no longer exists. It is very important to clarify and stop them quickly, because otherwise their impact continues into the present. So here, I am not talking about real-time analysis, but I'm talking about analyzing recordings to sort out an investigation. So most of the time, these investigations are asked by judges, and they are proceeded by the police centers. It can be about kidnapping of a person, it can be about a hit and run, it can be about any investigation that is ongoing. And when these cases are not solved, then they tend to multiply and they can fall into the category of immediate problems. We've noticed that for a small town of 100,000 inhabitants, you have approximately 100 cases a month. So when we hear about prior situation, that term might suggest that you have enough time to deal with those cases. However, this is false, and for two major reasons. First of all, they're numerous, so they generate a large amount of work, and each case is composed with a colossal volume of information to be processed. As you can see on the video, it is easy with the software and fast to analyze maybe 10 or 100 hours of videos. And thanks to an increasingly fine filter, you will get the results you're looking for in a matter of seconds. If you're looking for a vehicle, as an example, you will start with the search of the type of vehicle, let's say a car, and then you can add the color of the vehicle, the brand of the vehicle, the type, is it an SUV or a sedan, and then you can also add the license plate if you have the information. You can do it exactly the same for the person. You can create your person of interest, define the person, and you can look for that profile through that system. So here is the first pillar of that presentation, that we were talking about prior situations, and through our software, this is how we answer this issue. As a conclusion, and what we have to memorize about these prior threats is that most of the time they are the first markers of a scene, of a location that can get worse. Now I'm gonna move on to the immediate threats. So immediate to us is defined, is associated with a sudden action, limited in time, with a surprise effect. So these situations are often very diverse in nature, and they require a high level of adaptability in a very short time. Here, we are dealing with live analysis, real-time analysis, and I refer mainly to daily crimes: attack on a person, aggression, search of a vehicle, search of a person, rackets, school protections, and so on. And if these situations are not corrected or stopped in the great majority, then the most likely evolution is to see the development of a feeling of impunity for those crimes. And once established, they can give rise to new bad habits. So they can therefore fall in the category of recurring situations. In order to deal with these immediate threats, the principle of action and reaction is very, very important. And we use a tool that we designed that is called the re-identification tool. So like I'm going to show you now, if you detect a person on the screen and you just have to click on it, and automatically the platform will highlight the key feature of that person. Here's a woman wearing a t-shirt, a red t-shirt with long hair, and so on and so on. And in less than 3 seconds, that person that you have spotted on the screen can be deployed to your whole network of camera. So if you have like 500 cameras, in 3 seconds, you can deploy that proxy and look for that person of interest over your whole network. You can do exactly the same for the vehicle of interest. You can click on the vehicle and it's going to give you the color of the vehicle, the brand, the type of vehicle, and you can look for that vehicle with the same type of alert through your whole network of camera. You can deploy it to the whole network or to a part of the network, depending on your needs. And this is what we call the principle of re-identification. As a conclusion for that part, it is important to remember that these situations are temporally and geographically difficult to predict, or we can't predict them because we do not know when and where that crime is going to happen. But you do need the power to sort it out as soon as possible. So they require a constant um, attention and immediate reaction. Finally, I'm going to talk about the recurring threats. And when we talk about recurring here, we talk about something that is known, frequent, identifiable, and stable over time. So these type of situations are often linked to a way of operating, a way of life. As an example, I have to drop off my children at school and I will park on a crosswalk. Or it can be an adaptation to an opposite situation. Okay, I have to go to the post office. It's only 100 meters away, so I'm gonna take that street the other way around. Even if these these types of recurrent situations are clearly identifiable and form a limited list, it's about 20 to 30 cases, they can generate many problems. They are difficult to manage humanly because they are continuous over time and therefore require constant attention, but they also represent a large volume of data because they occur several times a day. So the most known cases are driving against traffic, illegal parking, illegal gathering or large gathering, raiding, loitering, occupation of uncultivated lands, all of them. And in that context, it is necessary to automate a maximum of tasks and to make the operator save time by automatically creating reports with qualified images and information. The key objective here is to stay focused. And all the models of the live page can be custom and they will lock on the operator's task. They will only display the alerts that are important for his mission. And they will only um, lock on the cameras that concern his perimeter of action. This way, he is not disturbed by too many information. As a conclusion, what we have to keep in mind for the recurring situations is that if we don't deal with them very carefully, they can get worse and they can create new habits. Finally, the last two slides. The last one is about the environment we're working in. And I'm going to talk about the size of the territories. That size is increasing. And here I'm referring to the, the amount of square meters that can be observed with a camera. And we are noticing that there is more and more square meters that can be observed through cameras. So that's why the size of the territory is increasing. The sensors, the cameras, we notice that the number of cameras is also increasing, as well as the data, because we have more and more camera, but also because each camera is providing more and more data. And finally, the last 2 points, the number of incidents is growing, as well as the nature of the incidents we are trying to detect, the cases we are trying to detect that is growing. Finally, what is it for? So that solution has been designed to tackle prior situation. So analyzing recordings for criminal investigation, like abduction or street crimes, but we also do live analysis for immediate threats like physical violences, trespassing, looting, escape offenses, multiple types, and as well in live dealing with recurring situations, for example, illegal parking, obstructions of pedestrian zones, traffic direction violation. These are just examples. And we have noticed that we need a global and comprehensive system that can handle a very large amount of data in real time and in historical. That solution must be able to manage all the cases encountered. And it is necessary to we have two values. It is necessary to free up time on previous recurring and prior situations by simplifying procedures and automating tasks. And it is necessary to gain in efficiency on immediate situations thanks to new tool. And this is exactly what 2i proposes through its platform. I'm gonna now show you quickly what type of detection the software is able to realize, and that's going to help you to understand how you can use it with real cases. Just, I'm just sharing the screen right now. And you should be able to see the screen right now. And that slide will show you how what is achievable with the software in terms of features. So as you can see, we're going to go through the solution architecture. So it's very simple because the solution is really in between the cameras or the VMSs and your data. So the solution is installed and connected to all your cameras and all your VMSs and process the information in order to give you the information in a shape or form you are the most comfortable with. So it can be through the platform, it can be through external connections. The list of available functions we have in the software to create a scenario or an alert is the following. So either you're dealing with real time or you're dealing with post events. But regardless of the, the section, you have three different main categories. First, you have object detection. So you'll be able to choose an object, either person or belongings like a bag, backpack, and so on. You can have animals as well, vehicles, different types of vehicles, smoke and fire, as well as weapon. And then you can add a conditional analysis. So do you want that object to be present or absent? Do you want to compute the density? Like I want to detect 150 people on the frame, or do you want to do a line crossing or movement detection, or do you want that object to be persistent for more than 90 seconds in a location of the image, and so on. So you can add conditional analysis. And finally, you have the profiling section for re-identification, and you can create a person of interest or a vehicle of interest. Talking about person of interest, on the person, you can choose the sex, the gender, the age, the body orientation, and for the head, you can choose the head cover, hair type. For the upper body, you can choose the type of clothing as well as the color of the clothing. For the bottom body, you can choose as well the type of clothing and the color of these clothes. And for the feet, you can choose the type of shoes and the color. When we talk about vehicle of interest, then you can choose the type of vehicle. Is it a bus? Is it a car? Is it a van? You can choose the category of the car. Is it a sedan? Is it a SUV? And so on. And you can choose the make. Is it a Mercedes? Is it a BMW? And so Toyota, and so on. And you can add the color of the car and the license plate number. So these are all the features you are able to detect thanks to our, our technology. Now, if you'd like, I'm gonna go through the demonstration on the software. So to achieve that demonstration, I'm gonna only demonstrate the power of the investigation tool. And I'm gonna proceed as a simulation to go step by step with you through a theoretical investigation. And after that, I'll be open to Q&A. So now on the screen, you're able to see the platform. So the platform is very diverse and you can have multiple sections, but now we're going to focus on what we call investigation. So I'm clicking on it and I'm choosing an investigation. Okay, so 2 or 3 things that are important for today is that I'm choosing my investigation here, group number 2, and I have already loaded 50 videos. So let's say for that investigation, I have 50 different cameras that are very important for my investigation. I can take the first camera, video number 1, and it has already been processed. So let's say I start from 0 and I say, okay, I'm interested in a person, and I want to look for all the different person in the image. Here it is. And if I click on one of them, I have the image. So this is basic analysis, okay? This is very, very straightforward. You can add multiple criteria. Okay, the person I'm interested in is wearing a yellow or green color. Look for it, and it looks for it. And if I'm interested in it, I can even click on the person. Here I have all the details, and I can say, okay, look for that. It creates the model. Here, the model is created, and I can apply it to all my videos if necessary to look for that specific target. Then I can go to video number 2, and I can do the same process. I can do, okay, look for a person or any other object, but we're gonna go through it in a bit, and I can process my research. If I want to be a bit faster, I can go to data mining. So data mining is interesting because we have the stats associated with the video. So as an example here, on that stat here that I'm moving, you can see that there are no buses in that video. So there is no point for me to look for a bus or to spend time looking. So this allows me to save a lot of time because I'm not gonna do multiple filters, multiple research on a video that do not have the person or the object that I'm looking for. And I know that through the stats. You can custom the stats the way you want and create them exactly the way you want. So this is very interesting because if I take another video, and here I can see that I have cars and person and so on. So I can do that type of research here. I can say, okay, I'm interested in cars, and I can submit. And it will give me all the different cars I have. So that's very important. And I'm not gonna look for a bicycle here because I have none. So this is a great tool and a great way to go fast in your investigation. But now let's go straight to the investigation itself. So as you see, we've been processing the 50 videos and we've done a job of investigation. So let's start going a bit further. I'm taking that first video, video number 1, okay? And let's say that this person here, okay, over there, I'm moving it, over there, is my witness number 1. So it's a character very important to my investigation. I can click on it and add it to target number 1. And here I have my targets, and I can look for target number 1, and it's here. And then I can go from video to video to video and say, okay, I'm gonna add targets, new targets every single time. So as an example, I take this one, and here you see in yellow. So I'm gonna click on it, and that person, let me show you. So I can click on it and do the same process, but let's say that person is not target number 1, but it's target number 3, and I can add it as well. And I can create new filters. Let's say detection of something else. And I can say, oh, it's interesting because on the same video, when I had target number 3, I can see that here I also have witness number 1. So I'm going to add it to target number 1, and so on and so on. And I can do all my videos step by step, and it's going to create what we call here the bookmarks. So basically what I have here for target number 1, I have all the occurrences where I see the target number 1 or something that belong to target number 1, like his car or his bicycle. And I can do the same for target number 2. Here is the car of target number 2, images where I saw target number 2, the bus it jumped in, and so on. And I can do the same for target number 3 and target number 4. So basically, I have attached key elements to my different targets. And that allows me, for the first time, to see the intersection between my targets. So here on the table, in X, I have time, and in Y, I have all my locations through cameras. And you can see all the green dots are where and when I have identified target number 1. I can add target number 2, and I see that on the same video, target 1 and 2 were present here, target number 3, and target number 4. And I can see that on video 12, here, the 4 characters were on that video. They might not be at the exact same time, but they were on that footage. That's very important. And that helps me to create the final results, which is this one. So here what you have here the first visualization of target number 1, target number 2 here, 3 here, and 4 here. And it will automatically create the map and the connection between your targets, suspects or witnesses, and victims. And what's very important, I'm going to put it here right now. You can see that that point is the point where the 4 characters will meet. And sometimes when you do investigation, what is key to identify is a location where 2 criminals went, but they never met, because one went to drop off a luggage at 10 a.m. and the other one picked it up at 4 p.m. Same for the victim. So you will see that connection step by step. And it will do it through the whole map with all the connections between all your targets. Of course, for each point, you have the associated image and associated video. I will show you as soon as the investigation is finished. Every time it creates a point of contact and it stores the important information for your investigation. So this is the final results. And if you click here, you will have the video and the image. Same if you click on any other target. So this is very helpful when you're trying to sort out an investigation, because it gives you the opportunity to clearly visualize the information that you need and that is not obvious to get, because that investigation might be done over 3 or 4 weeks of time through 50 cameras. So this creates a visual that allows you to understand very clearly and very quickly where and when the targets were identified and where and when they met. this is the end of my presentation for that part of the software. So now, if you have any questions or any points you want me to dig further, I'll be open to Q&A. So if you do not have any questions, I can see there is a question in the chat. Let me see. Where is the question? Here I can see the questions. Okay, so how long does it take to process data? So it will depend on multiple factors. So depending on the speed of your VMS and how we can get the information, but it will take between, it will go from time 8 to time 20. So either minimum 8 times faster than real time or 20 times faster than real time. And this depends on the connection you have and the VMS you have. And then, of course, to have a filter or to have a request on the database, this is instant.
Hello, everyone. This
Hello.
is Vimal from SAT. And if we do not have any further questions, then we can end the webinar or wait for some time.
If you have any questions or any specific information you need, you can obviously go through SAT, or you see we have our contact email address on the screen, contact@2i.com, and you can ask any questions. We'll be more than happy to answer it and give you examples on how we can sort a case, what kind of detection we can make, and so on.
I think we do not have any further questions as of now. So we'd like to thank you for joining this webinar. And if you have any questions later on, you can write to us or to 2i, and then we'll answer your queries, and we hope to receive your feedback.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, everybody, for the time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.